And to the McDonald's employee who snitched, I hope that they deny you health insurance for the rest of your life. I hope your grandma falls down the stairs for Christmas.
I hope that every time you go in for a shift thinking that the ice cream machine is back up, it breaks in your hand.
Who asked you to do that? Nobody asked you to do that.
Hey guys, so it's no longer news that the guy who PPU'd the CEO of the health insurance company has been caught, okay? And it was stated that he was snitched by a McDonald's staff or employee. So let's go ahead and watch what people's reaction on TikTok is. Then we'll come back and we'll talk more about it.
Okay, shout out the guy who pointed this out on Twitter, but the guy who allegedly took out that CEO, Luigi Mangione, they found his Twitter, and this was his header. And at first you're like, yeah, it doesn't look that weird. We got like a thirst trap of him traveling, nothing weird, pretty normal. There's a picture of his surgery that people are suspecting radicalized him, especially since he's 26, and at that age you're no longer covered by your parents' insurance, you have to find your own. And there's this Pokemon. And when I first saw this, I was just like, oh, Breloom, he likes Pokemon, based. Not only that, he likes Hoenn, double based. But Foxy Grandpa on Twitter pointed out, Breloom's Pokedex number is 286. In the Bible, if you look up Proverbs 286, it's this.
He says, better is a poor man who walks in his integrity than a rich man who is crooked in his ways.
So Luigi Mangione went to Ivy League schools. He also did Ivy League seminars at Johns Hopkins and at Stanford University. He is an intelligent man, but he also graduated as the valedictorian from the Gilman School. Now, if you're anywhere around Maryland, then you know when someone asks where you went to school out here, they're not talking about your university, they're talking about your high school. The Gilman School is one of the most elite preparatory schools in our region, racking in at anywhere between $35,000 and $39,000 a year to go to school there.
It's really shocking to know that this guy is from a very wealthy family, okay? Because everybody was thinking maybe somebody who was sick or somebody whose grandparents is sick, that was just the speculation that people had when this whole thing happened. But right now that these things is unfolding and the guy has been found and they get to know that the guy is from a rich family, I'm shocked as well, like every other person.
So he's literally Bruce Wayne. Like, he's the Batman. Yo, and I'm trying to be his Robin, okay?
Updates on Hitman Talk. 911. He has a YouTube video scheduled for release. This is cinema, guys. This is cinema. Hitman Talk is what I assume women go through on this book talk that I always see about. This man, Luigi Mangione, is honestly something I'm obsessed with at the moment. The landing page of the video says, if you see this, I'm already under arrest. And there's a countdown for the video to come out. And it says, all is scheduled, be patient, bye for now. I have never been more into a story and into I'm obsessed with this man. I will willingly admit that. This is genius. What do you mean? This is genius. I can't wait to see what the video says.
So unfortunately, someone narked on everyone's favorite unaliver of the United Healthcare CEO, and he's in custody and his name has been released. And when I Googled him, his Goodreads showed up, and as a bookish content creator, I am at liberty to review his Goodreads presence. So let's get into it. Here's his profile, literally came up on the first page of Google. Currently reading The Book Thief and 2 Michael Pollan books. Of course, he's a Michael Pollan man. In his favorite section, the Lorax is at the top. He rated it 5 stars. Amazing. He's also a bullet journaler, and he said that this book will go down in history as one of the most important philosophical books of the early 21st century. Very interesting. A book for societies. I haven't read this book, so if anyone knows what this book is about, drop some lore into the comments. Has a very in-depth review of this book. He talks about how his mother, and as someone with an Italian mother, I can definitely relate to this, that she, teaches him proper etiquette, and he's like, that's not my priority. I will say a red flag in his Goodreads was that the Elon Musk biography was in his favorites, and he also gave 5 stars to another Elon Musk book. Red flag for me. Another red flag, Infinite Jest in the TBR, and Oppenheimer. And then the red flags keep coming because he read Hillbilly Elegy, but he did only rate it 3 stars, so we don't really know his full thoughts. He didn't write a review. But then also Avatar, slay. Born a Crime, slay. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, slay. This man's Goodreads is all over the place. Of course, he's read Freakonomics, and then greenest of green flags, The Little Prince and the Hunger Games trilogy. Mwah. Amazing. This man clearly did not clean up his internet presence before pew-pewing Mr. CEO, so sorry, Luigi.
While it's all over the news that the guy has been caught, there are still some persons who believe that that guy doesn't look like the pictures that we see on the internet, that the guy that they've been distributing all over internet while they were looking for him. Some people don't still believe that. Let's go watch this video.
As I'm sure you all heard by now, they caught the man who pew-pewed the CEO of United Healthcare. And, you know, as I'm sure you didn't know, when I saw his picture, I moaned a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Good luck finding a jury of people who are gonna look at that man, not because he's attractive, but just in general, and say, he's wrong, and the one who is responsible for the death of thousands is not. And I mean, for me, he don't look like the person who y'all had in the pictures, and allegedly y'all saying that he had the weapon on him. Weapons can be duplicated, so I don't know. I didn't see him. It looked more like Amy Schumer to me.
So if he went to high school for $40K a year, he then turned around and went to Penn and studied, biomedical engineering, which he then used his education to 3D print the gun that he supposedly used in the shooting. And now he is on a path of vengeance as a social justice warrior to bring power to people, even though he is not of the same socioeconomic status as. All wrapped up under a banner of unified class consciousness that nobody else in this country has ever been able to achieve. I don't know about you, but those are some pretty strong parallels, okay? They're pretty strong. And everybody was talking about like, oh, you know, what would Spider-Man have done? Or the only superhero that needs to be concerned about him would be Tony Stark.
I'm going to give you a list of increasingly unlikely things that had to happen in order for this whole "we found the guy in a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania" thing to be true. Number 1, the same guy who evaded police for 3 days and left behind intentional false clues for them to find, including a backpack filled with Monopoly money, also walked into a McDonald's with the gun he used and a piece of paper explaining all his motivations for why he did it. Number 2, the McDonald's employee, any minimum wage, underpaid, overworked McDonald's employee, cared enough to call in the tip. That's it. Those are the 2 unlikely things that had to happen. Do you still think they found him?
So the way everyone has been playing and joking about this whole thing on social media, especially on the street of TikTok, it just shows that people need to be good while you still live, right? The man who was PPU'd, is quite unfortunate this thing happened to him, but if he had lived better, I'm sure a lot of people would have supported this whole thing that is happening or that has happened. A lot of people would have been eager to also snitch on this guy, but because of the circumstances surrounding the man, his career and everything, a lot of people were not ready. They were not ready to snitch on anybody for that man. Okay, so it's just very important for people to live uprightly, live upright life. Okay, like live a life worthy of emulations. Don't depend on people's money. Don't do things that will hurt people. I think that's one of the things people need to learn, right, from this whole story as it keeps unfolding every day. Okay, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. I'd love to read from you. Please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and do give this video a thumbs up. See you guys on my next video. Bye guys.